What is going on, everybody? This is Burning Wheel here, and today we're going to have another content, which is reaction video from the most deadliest knockout machine ever, which is Buakaw Banchamek, which is I'm one of his biggest fan, and he's one of the legend in this kickboxing, guys. And Buakaw Banchamek is from Thailand. Sawadee. Okay, so without further ado, let's start the reaction. Before that, guys, I'm already almost halfway through the video. Hopefully we can finish this, but I don't think we will finish this though, because it's too long. So we'll just take our time and let's see what we can do. Without further ado, let's go.
That rumors about him catching 4 bodies in the ring circulated for years. Although not true, there were certainly grounds for these accusations. In the ballet of violence with Buakaw, despite Iron Mike's unusual agility,
So that guys, sorry if I'm going to speak English plus Bisaya, guys. So understand me.
he rarely managed to land on the tie. Meanwhile, poor Pramuk targeted the legs.
All his kick is like freaking brick, bro. Like throwing a brick on you. Every single kick, you can hear it.
Bombarded the rival with body kicks. And occasionally went up top. Even in the second round, the Spartan warrior was still desperately stuck in first gear. Zambitas' only successes were sporadic attacks to the midsection. He simply couldn't turn the tide and succumbed in every aspect to the world's second best middleweight. With this convincing decision victory, the White Lotus joined the lineup of the 2006 K1 World Grand Prix held in June. In the quarterfinals, he was greeted by Yoshihiro Sato, the best Muay Thai practitioner in all of Japan. Buakaw had significantly improved his boxing since the last tournament, something that the enemy reluctantly acknowledged. A pull 1-2 counter landed on the money. It wasn't time to write a will yet. And the spirited Sato went for broke. Buakaw put a bow on it in the second. After catching a front kick, the White Lotus uncorked a left hook that isekai'd the Japanese fighter into another.
Gilay po. Gisen ang Japanese mag-iisikay.
Other universe.
Isikay dyan.
The same evening, Gago Drago awaited him in the semis,
Grabe,
following his
announcer,
sensational
legend.
upset win
Legend
over
announcer.
Albert Kraus.
Albert Kraus.
The Armenian underdog immediately wounded the Thai's pride.
Signature move ni
Buakaw eagerly jumped into the melee.
Buakaw pa. Gunitan.
And played the lead throughout the round, not giving the opponent a slightest chance to make it competitive. Gago tanked forward in the second, which suddenly helped his matters.
Stunning.
The night was far from dull before, but now there were fireworks everywhere.
Firework yun. Dunggan kayong ka, no?
And in all directions.
Buakaw.
Under the bloody moon, the White Lotus blossomed.
Kero kan mo. Pong. Nasakitan naman din, no? Bang.
The good old Muay Thai classic.
Bang.
A forearm frame, a right hand over the top. And Drago is already inspecting the canvas.
Slip tight.
Despite Gago's obvious willingness to keep going, by the end, Buakaw had only strengthened his dominance.
Bob, skin liver. Bunitan.
Ultimately, the crowds and the judges' sympathies were undeniably with the Thai.
Buakaw, eh.
A stroke of luck in the final was the old acquaintance Andy Sauer. On a streak of 24 victories, the Dutchman had previously made a splash with a spectacular knockout.
Dutchman.
And a triumph over Masato. All things considered, the rematch between two striking wizards couldn't leave anyone indifferent.
Okay, tanaw di ko ni ganyan guys. Like, I don't know, asa to siya dapit. Sa minutes dere, 23 minutes naman ta. So, kuan din sila, no? Na 1-on-1. Then, ang nadaog ato is si Dutchman, which is dili kay katuuan na si Dutchman ang nadaog ato. Kaning Dutchman ang nadaog. Si Buakaw gitan, grabe. Kusog kay ang mga ayos kayong ipakita na performance ato, aside sa kusog ilang most hapit sila mag-equal mostly mag-equal sila, pero si Buakaw ang mas mo dominate sa every round. So nag-rematch sila.
It wasn't their first rodeo for both champs, and the battlefield was iron hot from the gate.
First round tagali, already fire, bro. First round.
Sauer assumed the role of the aggressor early. But having reminded that revenge is best served cold, Buakaw unpacked the Fluga Geheimen special.
Oh my god. Damn. Nakita to eh. No.
The Fluga Geheimen.
Wala na, tanawang na. Look at his face, bro. This Dutchman, bro. Look at his face.
Special.
Really damaged. Bob.
Showing unparalleled composure, and he tried to get back into the contest, for which he paid a steep price.
What na? Nibalik ka sa round. Mas patay nung kasama. No, okay.
There was no escaping for the battered Dutchman. Shaking Sauer's hemispheres with two collapses.
Uppercut.
The White Lotus ended the bloody carnival with a knee punch. At 24 years old, Buakaw became the first two-time champion in K1's middleweight history and a national hero at home.
Wow.
Victory in the upcoming 2007 Grand Prix would cement Buakaw as the greatest middleweight of the 21st century. That's why the organizers matched him up with Masato, the only top K1 contender he hadn't faced in the past 2 years. The meeting started with relentless pressure from the Thai.
First round ba? No. Bob. Bang.
And yet, the Silver Wolf pulled ahead with brilliant handiwork.
Nice handiwork, good.
Suddenly, the White Lotus couldn't keep up with his dynamic Japanese counterpart. Buakaw decided to revert to his proven Rock'em Sock'em style. But Kobayashi had already found a chink in his armor. Knocked down by a swift combo and caught under the shelling, Buakaw refused to cave in.
Patay. Hindi mo sila give up si Buakaw do. Ayos kaya itong punches punitan. Japanese man.
In the second stretch, the versatile ring soldiers picked up where they left off. Then Buakaw got the punches going and slowed the Japanese fighter down, pumping low kicks.
Sakit kinang. Huwag yun maka-weak sa kontra jud ka nang sipaon ka ragod. Sipaon ka like tira ka mas ma-weak og tiil. Murag dira ka mas mo-down ka one. Sara ka sumbag sa mo. One punch you're knocked out.
Only half a round.
Ang style man gud ni Buakaw kay sipa-sipaon niya ang opponent niya sa tiil kay Paramos mo-weak ilang tiil bago samot. Kung ma-weak na, pwede na din tirang-tirag uppercut o multiple punches. Tira na din mas mo-focus naman sila, magproblema na sila sa ilang tail. So dito na nisugdan ni Buakaw. One of his strategy mo, which is good.
Later did Masato begin,
which is absolutely great,
to restore the balance. And the ending went in his favor. According to the rules, Buakaw still had a chance to win the decision. However, the Silver Wolf sensed blood and was not willing to share the spoils. Not believing his own eyes, Buakaw was forced to retreat under the non-stop assault from the Japanese predator. Kobayashi was making history on live TV. And Buakaw had to accept not being in the driver's seat.
May puning mo si Kobayashi.
Overcoming very long odds, Masato delivered a fantastic performance. He outplayed Buakaw in areas where others crashed and burned, earning praise in the locker room.
Practice pa siya. Every lose niya, grabe. Dira niya pag times 2 niya yung 3 times, 5 times.
Thailand's favorite son didn't want to sit on the sidelines and flew to Seoul in 2008. The Korean zombie's neighbor rose from the ashes after a cemetery head kick, so Buakaw gave him an encore and added some punches on top. The opponent asked for more, and Buakaw began to question the guy's sanity. A strong sedative seemed to be the only option to save the patient. Nevertheless, the Thai phenom subdued the Korean without medication. The left check hook and the pull counter cross were the final arguments to stop the beating. The annual K1 Grand Prix opened with a battle against Kraus. The Dutch butcher initially aimed at the torso. Buakaw recaptured control in response.
Jab outside finding wrist kick from Buakaw.
He kept Albert honest throughout the bout.
Atay. Bang.
And cornered him on the ropes for the sake of variety. Kraus frantically tried to find success late by going up top.
Second round.
Down yung kalaban.
But Pramuk maintained the lead all the way to the bell.
Nice jab from Buakaw, dangerous.
The unpredictable judges somehow saw it as a draw. The inspired Dutchman willed himself to restore parity.
And that's what Kraus is doing this week because Buakaw doesn't sleep. He's upstairs to the head looking for the headache maker.
Which lasted until the end of the extra
Tulog
round.
yung combination ba?
Rick kicks it down for Kraus. Oh, nice uppercut from the right hand on it.
Manog ka mo, tiin.
Again, a kick in display from Buakaw. Kraus could have taken this round.
Kira, good,
For
good
once,
match.
karma was on Pramuk's side,
Has done it, Albert.
although Albert overtly disagreed with the decision. Despite
Oh,
the
was it
favorable
Richard?
outcome, Buakaw's relationship with K1 was soured and he lost motivation. This became evident in his rematch with the previously beaten Sato early into the
Grabe, sakit ta bro. Kabalo mo sakit no akuan kanang mapildi ka sakit ka sa feeling pero kung nga to yung yung sugot sa decision kina ikaw na daog mag-live yun sir na feeling sa imo jud.
rematch, Pramuk was confident in his invincibility.
С другой стороны, если такая тактика приносит победу, тайский атлет, конечно, выглядел непробиваемым.
He brazenly answered Yoshihiro's left-hand attacks with his right
Своему оппоненту его надо ломать.
and fired crosses down the pipe.
Ой-ой-ой.
The signature left hook was no less heavy.
Так все и надо делать. Вот, обратите.
Dumog kayo ba?
The skinny Japanese counterpart absorbed the impact like SpongeBob and stayed on his feet.
Верить своего оппонента, что он будет постоянно бить его как раз вот этим эгерем. И вот домолачивание.
He rightly emphasized body blows in the process.
Binudok yun. Skinny gud siya ba eh. Ganiya pa man mo yung ganun tao pero
Сказали добавить скорость, он это и делает. Называется в игру. Buakaw.
Fighting back fiercely, Sato gradually depleted the Thai's gas tank.
taas siya pero skin. Pero grabe. Ang build ni Buakaw ba?
This allowed him to spice things up in the third and make it a war of attrition.
Balagan ni Buakaw. Pero ang
Другое
build.
дело, насколько у тебя на это хватит, собственно, в обмен ударами постоянно. Авось попадешь один раз так, что сопернику хватит.
Ito,
Уже всё.
no offense pero kaning Japanese man kay humok siya sa tilya pero Buakaw wala eh.
Это тоже из плоти и крови.
Put under excruciating pressure by the immortal
Tanong sa
Japanese,
tilo.
Buakaw was eventually stopped dead in his tracks.
Опа! Вот
pero
это
knockdown.
да!
Enduring
Sakuan
pressure
siya.
by the immortal Japanese, Buakaw was eventually stopped dead in his
Kamot.
tracks.
Pakamot. Bam.
Опа! Вот
Kamot
это да!
Enduring dozens of precise offerings,
Вот вам...
Sato exhausted the star and nailed him with a right hook.
Вот
Bam.
он!
Buakaw knocked out. Now you've seen it all.
Atay Buakaw.
Coming back 3 months later, he
Lipstick
locked
siya.
horns with an Indian kickboxer nicknamed Black Mamba. Pramuk proved to have steel not only in his heart,
Не шелохнул.
but also in his fists.
Mon bro back.
Все мы хотим вернуться в это
Камбак,
чудесное
мейка,
время,
камбак.
а вот Буакав Прамук укачал его, убаюкал.
It didn't take him long to seal the deal.
Atay na ni.
Благодаря вот этим... Ух, сейчас было опасно.
Lifok.
Печать поставил.
Grabe
The
ang
Black
lifok.
Mamba's hopes for a Tarantino-esque happy ending were shattered, along with his consciousness.
Буакав Прамук с
Right hook
возвращением.
dito niya.
Buakaw's
Grabe, right
5-year-long K1 journey culminated in the semi-final of the 2009 Grand Prix against Sauer. The Thai Dynamo dominated in all aspects, tripping his enemy down
Aggravating shower because every time he
and blasting sharp knees.
Buakaw. See that? He faked the front. Nice inside thigh
Ako'y
kick from
bago niya strat.
Pramuk constantly mixed targets on his signature kicks.
Mo ni nakaayos sa kwan kickboxing pod sa other boxing pod pero kani kay ang king kani siya makita pag other style man ang gibuhat ni Buakaw is mangita na po siya lain na strategy which is ayosan kay kabalo sa kuan review magida nila yung imong every matches para studian nila yung imong every move, every strategy na nimo makabalo na sila sa mechanics para madadto kanila makita nila ilang weakness, kita nila ang imong weakness mo rin nakaayos.
It's just continual frustration here. Too much on the hands here. Put him on the ground. High left round kick. Andy wore that one well.
Nice.
Additionally, he found great success with intercepting shots.
Sour. Oh, nice.
Even the commentators were shocked with the verdict.
Katong kanila ganiya nice trade to.
Come on, we're going extra round. At the risk of sounding like John McEnroe, you cannot be serious.
The tie curse took its effect thereafter, and things weren't as clear in the extra round as before.
Good high check from Sauer, but he eats the front kick. Cow's being backed up here. Sauer, beautiful, dipping left hand to the left thigh. Oh, nice right hand from...
They met the final bell, neck and neck.
Yes, I mean, now this round...
Cross. Spinning back into midsection, Sauer trying to steal a kleptomaniac and really impress the judges. Give it to Buakaw.
Once the final result was announced, Buakaw was done with K1 there and then.
Buakaw is disappointed. He should be disappointed. He was robbed.
I'm disappointed. This is ridiculous.
Because I want to slap these three judges with a wet beard.
He would only return to K1 4 years later for a couple of guest appearances, marking the end of his involvement with the Japanese league.
Last na din niya. Last na niya. Sa K1. Nawa na din niya.
Following a scandalous split with the promotion, Buakaw had no intention of slowing down. In fact, he transformed into the boogeyman that haunted other kickboxers' nightmares. Firstly, the 28-year-old Thai ventured into shootboxing to face Toby Imada. Although the rules allowed takedowns, it didn't save the all-rounder from an avalanche of low kicks. And a visit to the hospital on crutches. Approaching his 30s, poor Pramuk returned to his Muay Thai roots.